Does he think BLM is brown shirts because they advocate for brown people? Oh yeah, brown shirts. Those people advocate for brown people. That's why they wear brown shirts, right? It's white people who support BLM and they want to and so they support black people by putting on brown shirts, just like black people's brown skin. So true. That's a big brain right there. It's a big brain. They're total brown shirts. Yep. You got it. You got it, man.
Hey, it's Jordan. We're down in Bedminster, right down the street from former President Trump's golf club. He's flying up now after his arrest in Florida, here with Edward. They got more memorabilia than a store. Let's start with, we'll get to the arrest, but let's start with Hillary for prison on you. You got CNN sucks, MAGA for president. Why are you sticking with Trump, even with all this? We got 2 indictments now, possibly future indictments. Why are you staying with Trump?
I am Edward X Young. Don't forget the X.
Edward X Young.
Yeah, middle initial X, because that stands for Xavier. Edward Young is like...
Wow, he's so cool. I'm Edward Exion. Trump supporter #1. The biggest Trump supporter to ever live. I'm the biggest Trump cuck. I'd suck him dry. I'd slurp that man down any day. He says kill myself, I say when. Oh man. If Donald Trump, I would never argue with Donald Trump. I would never argue with Donald Trump. It's whatever you say, beautiful. Donald Trump tells me to cut off my wife and children for him and give away his children's college fund, give away my children's college funds to fund his campaign. I say, si, patrona.
John Smith. And I act. I'm an actor. You can look me up.
Okay.
I bet you
why am
are.
I sticking with Trump? Because I get depressed sometimes.
I can tell.
This country isn't already dead. It's on the verge of death. The Democratic Party is utterly destroying this country. The Democratic Party has been completely corrupted. It's as if Satan has taken it over. Wow. The Democratic Party, there's always been some great evil force that has threatened freedom, dignity, and human existence and civilization throughout all of human history. 100 years ago, we called them Nazis. Today, we call them Democrats. Wow.
Very smart. Big brain here. So true. When you think about it, the Nazis are just kind of like the Democrats. They have like a political party. There's a lot of white people in there. I mean, they didn't shut down the concentration camps on the border. So, I mean, that's something. I think he would agree with that though. So both exist. That is true.
We had back then, Hitler had his Gestapo. We've got the FBI.
Gestapo? I've never heard somebody pronounce Gestapo. Oh my goodness. He had his Gestapo?
We had back then, Hitler had his Gestapo. We've got the FBI. The FBI is completely corrupt to the core.
I mean, I think you should probably more say something like the CIA. It's more a little bit closer to a secret police force. And also then like the FBI, but whatever, I guess.
And then we got groups like Black Lives Matter and Antifa and other such groups.
They're literally just like the Nazis.
They're brown shirts. They're Ernst Röhm's brown shirts.
Does he think BLM is brown shirts because they advocate for brown people? Oh yeah, brown shirts. Those people advocate for brown people. That's why they wear brown shirts, right? It's white people who support BLM and they want to and so they support black people by putting on brown shirts, just like black people's brown skin. So true. That's a big brain right there. It's a big brain. They're total brown shirts. Yep. You got it. You got it, man.
So do you think, because you're comparing them to Nazis, do you think it's possible they could start rounding people up and
Austin Birkenau?
The feds have already been to my house twice and harassed me just because I was down in D.C. on January 6th.
What were you doing there, sir? They're going to start rounding people up. I mean, I was just at one of the most infamous attempts to overthrow the U.S. government since the 1700s. I was just there, just taking pictures, walking around, and then I got visited by the FBI. For what? For what? Attempted murder? That's not even a real crime. You can't charge me for attempting to do something. I failed. Oh man, it's so good.
Okay. And I did not break into the Capitol.
Okay.
I didn't get any closer.
This was the.
Well, that seems like a good reason for the police to ask you questions, don't you think? Bro's like, I was asked questions by the police for no reason. Really, no reason? Yeah, I was only standing right next to the people literally trying to kill politicians and overthrow the U.S. government to erect my favorite politician as the God King Emperor of the United States forever. And then the cops came to my house to ask me questions for no reason. It's wild.
That got that footage of the police officers had rammed in the door. He was right there.
That's right. That's amazing footage. But why do I support Trump? Because I still believe America can survive. I haven't given up hope. But I do believe he. Well, first of all, I support him stronger than ever. I would gladly take a bullet for Donald Trump.
Really?
I would die.
Huh?
I'm not going to get the vaccine, then die.
I would die for Donald Trump, then die. You think this is debate club? You think I'm gonna argue with you? Go ahead, keel over, do it. I won't shed a tear. Who do you think you are? I'm not sticking my neck out to save you. You're the one who put yourself there in the first place. Don't make promises that you can't follow up on. Go ahead then. I would die for Donald Trump, then die. Go ahead, weirdo. I personally would not die for my politicians, if I'm going to be honest with you.
I would gladly take a bullet for Donald Trump.
Really?
You don't even know this man.
And I'll tell you why.
Please tell me why.
Because I love America. And I'd like to think, I'm 63 now, I'd like to think when I'm dead and gone, my children, grandchildren, descendants, friends will still have a country in America that will exist after I'm gone. I can't save America. I'm nobody. Only Donald Trump can.
So let me ask you legitimately. I mean, I'm not a fan of Biden. I'm also not a fan of Trump.
I knew that.
Why?
I know what the status quo is.
But why was America so great under Trump? What improved for you economically, societally, that it's going?
You know what this is? I got a sound bite for this. This is perfect. This is a perfect use of a sound bite. I'm going to tell you this now. This level of cuckoldry is something that I've never actually seen before in my entire life. This is remarkable, I must say. This is like pure unbridled cuckoldry that I think should be studied in a lab or something. Or maybe it was studied in a lab and it was it broke out of containment. You know what I mean? It broke out of containment. This giga cringe.
Giga cringe.
This is what the kids call. Listen, this is what the kids call
Giga cringe.
It's what it is. Thank you, my good sir, David Pakman. You're right. You got a point there, buddy. This one definitely is giga cringe. Buddy, I think you should be, trying to help out your family and not throwing your life away for a billionaire who couldn't give less about you. Less of a hoot about you, partner, or your family. Donald Trump did nothing for your family. He only enriched himself. And possibly sold American and international secrets to the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia for his own money. For his own for his own gain, which I think is a problem personally. I don't think that's very pro-American, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Gone to hell when he's been out of office.
This country had not had a decent leader since Ronald Reagan. And Republicans and them inept or corrupt.
No politician. He's got a point. No president has ruined the country the same way that Ronald Reagan did. Until we got to Donald Trump, who possibly did worse. Reagan gave us Reagan fever that we're just now starting to get out of, and Donald Trump's going to give us a Trump illness. He's going to give us a Trump STD. That is very hard to cure. We need a goddamn blood transfusion at this point. So I don't know. Maybe it'll work out. Maybe it won't. I mean, we'll see. It's going to take a while to clear this up. I'll tell you that much.
Republicans or Democrats followed Reagan. I mean, the two Bushes, Clinton, and Obama. For 8 years, the country was slowly sinking down, down, down. And we had this fake communist son of a bitch, Obama, talking about how, believe it or not, I voted for the...
Well, I mean, he's not a real communist. He's a fake communist. Didn't you say that he was a real communist? Wait, well, wait, what's the point of calling him a fake communist then? Like, what's going on here? It sounded like he's mad that he wasn't a real communist.
Bastard. I voted for him twice.
Okay.
Because I hated John McCain. I thought John McCain was a horribly... I've always hated McCain and Romney. But, you know...
But if you, let me ask you, you cited Reagan, right?
Yes.
Reagan was big on defense.
Yes.
He quadrupled the defense budget, also jacked up the debt, but that's neither here or there.
Yeah.
But if
we
you're
don't
big
talk
on
about that.
defense, if a Democratic politician had classified documents of attack plans, human spies. Wait, let me finish. Trump had documents on human sources, which are spies, attack plans against Iran. Obviously, he's entitled to his defense. I'm pretty sure you'd be having a meltdown, particularly if it was Obama.
Did Biden have they all have documents.
I know they all do.
This is a non-crime.
Indict them all, but I'm asking you Trump specifically.
What is he doing with the documents?
We don't know. That's why he's not supposed to take them. I don't know. Some guy stole your car. Bro, who cares? What's he even doing with it? It's a non-crime. Cars get stolen every single day. What's he even doing with the car? I don't know. He stole it. Give it back. I don't care what he's doing with it. He took them. Give them back. Whether the act of stealing them, lying about it, and not giving them back is a huge issue. You know what else? That happened recently that a lot of people haven't really been talking about, but this came out really recently. This came out kind of recently. It's a story that didn't get too much clout. But I think it's when it comes to Republicans, this is probably their worst night. This is their worst scenario. Okay, Donald Trump basically did Benghazi, but on a larger scale. Donald Trump did Giga Benghazi. Okay, remember how all the Republicans were getting on Hillary Clinton for her mishandling of Benghazi, and getting a bunch of U.S. soldiers killed. Well, Donald Trump did that, but even worse. Okay, because instead of it just being your average, soldier who was killed because of the mishandling of that operation, Donald Trump got high-level CIA informants captured by enemy combatants and or killed who were abroad. And I'm not shedding that many tears over a weirdo CIA informants in different countries, but I will say, if you care about this type of stuff, and the possibility of counterintelligence agencies being compromised by foreign governments that I would think your average Republican would, don't you think that this would be something that you would really like to talk about? Don't you think? Probably tweeting their identities and locations. That's almost exactly what happened. The funniest thing is that's almost exactly what happened. Donald Trump used to give Donald Trump briefings about important things because he's the president of the United States. And then he used to brag about the things that he knew and the top secret stuff that they told him when he went, talking to other people, and other foreign diplomats. And so he would just spew top secret information about the names and locations and whereabouts of certain CIA informants and other intelligence agency informants in other countries doing counterintelligence work for the military. And they got captured and killed, losing dozens, and others got disappeared. Dozens of US informants. He cut a large part of our incredibly important counterintelligence officials and double agents across the world for to boost his own ego and pump up his own personal feelings about himself. It's crazy. It's genuinely insane. Top American counterintelligence officials warned every CIA station and base around the world last week about troubling numbers of informants recruited from other countries to spy on the U.S. being captured or killed. People familiar with the matter? What it said? It's just wild. It was just crazy. It's just insane. But okay, anyways. Benghazi 2, Electric Boogaloo, but we don't care about that.
Is he selling them? Come on.
Well, they're the property,
the real
they're the property of the U.S. government, not Donald Trump.
Okay, the real crimes of the Biden family. Wait. The real crimes are the Biden family taking bribes. I mean.
But let's say that's true.
No. We are ignoring real.
No, not ignoring it. Let's say that's true. Yes. I actually think Hillary should have been indicted. I think Hunter should be indicted.
Hillary should be in prison for life.
But let's say all that's true.
Actually, Hillary's a murderer.
Let's say all that's true. You cited Reagan.
Yes.
Reagan was big on defense.
Yeah.
So if any other politician had classified documents that is not their property, it's the government's
property. For one
property.
thing, the president can declassify anything.
But oh my gosh, it's talking to a bot. Beep boop talking to a bot. Well, actually, he can declassify. Well, he didn't. For one, he can't declassify whatever he wants. And two, no. Actually, he didn't declassify. He's not the president anymore. He can't just take something without declassifying it and then just keep it. He can't even take something and then even not keep it. Like he can't just like scoop up stuff. You know, like even the president isn't allowed all like anywhere, everywhere at all points in time. You know that, right? Like the president isn't allowed to even just like waltz into Fort Knox whenever they want. Just because you're the president doesn't mean you're like the God King Emperor of the United States who can do whatever they want whenever they want. It doesn't work like that.
I can't talk to you about this.
What about Biden's? Nobody pays attention to Biden.
Why is every response?
It's not a serious crime. It's a non-crime. You asked me what did he do?
It's not a non. You don't get arrested. Listen, let me tell you something. You don't get arrested, charged, and indicted for non-crimes. That only happens with real. You're telling me they invented a crime to arrest him for? I'm pretty sure it was already on the books. Actually, one thing I hope he brings it up. I hope he brings this up. Donald Trump literally increased the penalty for you mishandling classified documents when he was in office. He moved it from it was kind of a non-crime. Like before this, he actually kind of was right that it was kind of a non-crime. But actually, when Donald Trump was in office, he moved mishandling classified documents from being a misdemeanor to being a class 1 felony with a mandatory minimum of 5 years in prison. He did that specifically. He did that himself. And then he committed the crime that he increased the penalty for. But then now we're calling it, he said he did that specifically so he could like throw Hillary Clinton in jail. But Hillary Clinton didn't go to jail at all. And then this guy is now facing down the barrel of 400 years in prison. They're throwing him into the goddamn ever jail. They're throwing him into the goddamn bottomless pit. But apparently it's a non-crime, I guess.
This country was dying.
But you're saying it's a crime. You just said it's not a serious crime.
No, it's a non-crime.
Okay, it's a non-crime.
The real crimes are what the Biden family is doing right now. The corruption, the bribery.
Tell me about that.
But I'm talking about, you wanted to know what he did for this country.
No, but wait. What's the Biden?
Let me answer the previous question.
Okay.
For 8 years, the country was in a slide, and we had this Kenyan bastard telling us.
What the fuck?
Oh, that's just the way it is. Capitalism had its day, man.
He was born in Hawaii.
No, actually,
you voted for him twice.
Yes, watch Sins, and I hope God forgives me. Watch The Sins of My Real Father.
Okay.
He was probably born in the U.S. mainland, probably in Washington or Oregon. Regardless, he's the one president we haven't. But the thing is, Trump came
and gave us just conspiracy theories and racism
in this country. He saved this.
Put the Oblivion music over this. If there was less background noise, I would. It would just be so cluttered now that there is since there's so much background noise and music at the moment. But yeah, that's crazy.
Nation. He absolutely saves. He made us strong again. He made us proud again. He didn't start a single war, and he ended wars. He ended wars that Obama had started.
Which war did he end?
We were were fighting in like 7 different countries. We cut that down by about 3. And he didn't start any new wars.
Which countries did he stop fighting? I'm asking. You're saying why you loved him. Which wars did he stop?
Name.
He didn't stop Afghanistan.
Name a war.
No, yeah, well, no, but Biden did?
What? He can't do it. He can't do it. You know, this guy would not be allowed to have a conversation. For one, yes. And this guy would not be allowed to have a conversation. He couldn't speak if you like sat him down and said you can't say the word Biden. He wouldn't be able to have a conversation. I don't even think he would be able to speak, honestly. I think every other sentence that comes out of his mouth is like has Biden's name in it. I genuinely don't believe that he would be able to have a conversation with a human being. But Biden, yo, you're the one wearing a Donald Trump shirt. Stop talking about Trump. Talk about Biden. Stop talking about Biden. Talk about Trump. Like, what are you saying, bro?
Yeah, Biden. Hey, I'm not a Biden fan. He took us out of Afghanistan.
He took us out of Afghanistan and left a field of dead soldiers, dead Afghanistan citizens, gave the Taliban billions of weapons that they're going to use against.
What did you think was going to happen, leaving a war we should have never been in for 20 years?
That wasn't the way to leave. But Trump, now
it was better than what Trump, dude. That was not the way to, dude. If I love this guy because if Donald Trump did it, he would be cheering its praises. He would be like, Donald Trump is the world's greatest hero to ever live. But since Biden did it, since it happened under Biden, he hates it, which is so funny because Biden literally had to take time and slow down Donald Trump's plan of leaving Afghanistan because it was so bad and rushed. And still that happened. It's almost like it was a bad idea to even be there in the first place. Obamacare. Ask him what he thinks about Obamacare and then ask him what he thinks about the Affordable Health Care Act. I want to know. I want to see. What about Obamacare? Terrible. Destroyed everything. It's horrible. It's absolutely a mess. What do you think about the Affordable Care Act? I think it's really great and they should stop trying to ruin it. It helped my mom.
Trump ended wars. Which wars did he end? Which wars did he end?
I can't get into it. Okay. I'm saying
I can't get into it. Is it secret? Is it super secret? Are you one of those special informants that Trump got killed? That Trump endangered? Is the Taliban after you now, brother? What happened? What happened? I can't get into it. I know you can't. There's nothing to get into.
We had a great economy, a great country, a strong country. And now we have a country that is dying. We are absolutely dying. It is descending into madness and depravity.
Hey.
I have a friend.
Make sure you follow Chef Clean.
Hey.
You're Chef Clean?
I am Chef Clean.
Okay.
What news outlet is
Status Quo. You want to get in? Because I hear you talking. Okay.
No, but,
We're Status Quo.
YouTube,
Oh, yeah. YouTube. 142,000 subscribers.
Really? Very
We mean no
good for you.
harm. We're just
I'm 102,000 subscribers. Hey, how's it going? You know, I'm a pretty big thing if you think about it. Hey. Anyways.
trying to talk to
Oh,
them.
really?
I
Oh,
promise.
really? Well, you're extremely antagonistic and you're
No, I'm just asking.
confrontational.
No.
Okay, so you're asking
So
what?
you're extremely antagonistic and confrontational by asking a guy to list off things that he said that happened. So true. I'm just asking questions.
Come in.
No.
Let him talk.
No.
Well,
What
if you want to be
war-
interviewed, you're on
What
camera.
war Trump wanted to cease?
No, not wanted to. Which war did he stop?
No, he was in negotiations.
Okay. The answer is none. The answer, just so you know, is none. 0. Actually, he made them worse. He almost started one with Iran, but he doesn't like to talk about that. Remember that time back in like 2019 where it was back-to-back memes? It was Area 51, and then it was World War III, and then it was COVID-19. Or back in 2020, well, late 2019, early 2020, right? I guess we just forget about that. I guess we just don't talk about that. Yeah, the 2020 event. Yeah, we just don't speak about that. It's okay. The more we don't speak about it, the better Trump looks. Okay, so just don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Very cool, very smart, and very cool. people. You know a lot. Very serious human beings. Definitely not giga cringe, as many people would say. As many people would not say. They would never say that. I know I would never say that. Never, ever, not once. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.